Mai ne watuto.
Honourable members, please be seated.
Ne katika te o me maki anō,
Parliament is resumed.
te hamatako nei te Parliament.
I will now call for the Minister to move the motion for the second reading of the bill.
Ka pachecho I te minita kia tuku mai I te ke uanga no te rua o te tataunga o te ture tamana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the COVID-19 Cook Islands National Superannuation Number 2 Bill now be read for the second time.
Mai ne watutua te keu neo e ki tatau I atu no te rua o te temu. O te ia ture tamanako COVID-19 tangor maiwa moni a kaputu no te tuatau a ngaro I anga o te Cook Islands. Numero rua, ture nui ruangauru.
Madam Speaker, this bill is a continuation of the support package being put to our people as part of the measures taken to protect our country from the COVID-19.
Mai ne watutua ko te ia ture tamarako nei ko te tai rawanga te ia te tauturu I to tātou I sangata I te paruru no runga I te tūranga o te maki I COVID-19 te ngoro maiwa.
In order to keep our people safe, Madam Speaker, we've had to close our borders to all travellers.
E paruru I to tātou I tangata mai ne watutua anono I tātou I te topiri I to tātou kena paserea ki te tomo anga mai ki roto.
And even though it was very nice in the first few months, everybody was saying, oh, it's beautiful, we have our own beaches back, there's no traffic on the road, it's lovely.
No atu e mea manea me mitaki I te kitene ia I te o ngāmara mamua I te karanganga tātou e me raka tikai kua toka o me to tātou ngā haitai ke tātou ua.
We are now starting to see the harsh reality, Madam Speaker, of having no tourists in our country. Immediately the hotels felt the pressure, the rental companies felt the pressure, the tour companies felt the pressure.
I tēnei mai na watutua te ki tēnei tātou I te tūranga tikatikai o te maki COVID-19 te ngata, te tumatitenga e tupunei ko rato tikai ki roto I te tūranga o te tūroto I te itianga te tuanga timimoni.
Now we're seeing that trickle down to our growers, our market vendors, our stall holders, the people who sell food at the markets are now struggling to sell their product and their produce because of the impacts that the border closure has had on our country.
E ki tēnei ria tātou I te tuatau I te manamanata e topa mai nei ki raro I tō tātou ititangata me te ronga tanu, te ronga oko ko te maki, te ronga oko kai no te tūranga o te kāre tūrotoko no te tuanga COVID.
But we've had everybody chip in to make sure that people don't miss out. Government has been able to put together the wage subsidy to ensure people who no longer have work are still earning some money until the end of this year.
Nā rā kua rawe tātou kapiti te tauturanga tā te kawamani I te tauturanga I te norunga I te moni tutaki no te ronga anganga I te tuatau nei.
Government has further introduced tax measures to put more money into people's pockets by lifting the tax-free threshold in July, and it will be lifted again at the end of this year or by 1st of January to ensure that the first $14,900 you earn will be tax-free.
E kua rawe te kawamani te taitoturu keatu me te tākiatuanga I te tūranga tero mi te mataiti tūrai, marama tūrai nei, pene e katākia atu I te marama ratai o January te mataiti ki mua ke kake atu ki runga I te tengoru maa iwa anere tara I mua ke koe ka teru ia.
Those who have loans at the banks, Madam Speaker, the government has put in place a support mechanism where the government will pay 70% of your interest on your loans for the whole year until June next year, just to help those who are struggling with their debt.
E kua rawe katoa te kaumani te tauturu ke nā runga I te tauturanga I te tūtaki I te muni e akauta nā runga ke I tā au muni kaiu I koe te banka e tai o atu ki te marama tūna te mataiti ki mua.
We've provided opportunity for those who do have loans at the bank to have their loans on hibernation for that period of time.
E ko kimi katoa te kaumani te tai raunga kia tamoi atu te kaiu a te isanta I ko I te panga I te tuata.
We've had our power company provide free power to everybody for the first 3 months and then continue to provide a subsidy to all households so that the next set of support to households is a $50 discount on your power bill.
Rakatoa ko rawe te tuanga o te kaumani te aponga uira I te takoreanga I te tutaki te muni o te uira. No te ngā toru marama mua e muri mai kua akanoi e te tai tauturu ko iogi e rimonga urutara I te tutaki I to o uira I te marama.
And the Superannuation Board, Madam Speaker, has also recognized the need to support our people with their first reduction in the superannuation contributions of 3%. These are now being extended to a 1% contribution.
E ko te kopopa aka tere tere I ta tātou haputuanga muni super. Wakara katoa rātou I te turanga e koroko e rātou te tai tauturu I te akaitianga I te muni tutaki ki roto I te pute nei me te toru patene ki te tai patene.
This bill, Madam Speaker, now seeks to extend that 1% contribution for superannuation from the 1st of October, which is just 2 days away, until the 31st of December this year.
E ko te tūre tāmanoko I mo e tātou mai ni wātutua a reo te rera I te aka tere atu, ka roa atu I te tai patene nei, me te rā tai o okutopa I rua rai tūma nei, e tai o atu ki te rā tono o mātai o December I te opinga te mataisa.
But this latest round of support for the superannuation contributions, Madam Speaker, there are conditions that need to be met in order to qualify as a 1% contributor rather than a 5% contributor.
Nā rā I raro ki te akanonoanga e hanono I a koe, kia rau te tai au turanga ka nono no o, kia rau kai a koe te tai patene e kare I te 5%.
And they are that you have received the government support, either a grant or the wage subsidy or other government support after the 31st of March this year, and your business is below 50% of your regular income, then you would qualify for this reduction in superannuation.
Tei teia kia koi I te au tauturu a te kawamani me te torongo uru matai mai o mati I te mataiti me kore. Ko topa te puapinga ata o company e torongo uru pasen mita o toa taora.
So while we continue with an economy that is essentially an economy without tourism, Madam Speaker, the government is still looking at further ways that we can extend our support to businesses and to our individual households that are struggling.
No atu e wa hano I te no runga I te tuanga tikai o te turoto. Nā rā, te akarane te kawamani te tai o rāmanga kia oronga atu I te tauturu ki te tai o tuanga kia atu e perakato ki te o ngutua re tātakire.
At the same time, Madam Speaker, the government is working very hard in discussions with our New Zealand agencies to find a way to enable us to have our tourists come back, at least in small numbers to start off with, to enable income to flow into our country.
E runga atu te huipanga māta nei te kawamani ki te o tuanga o te o kawamani o Nutirini, pene ke roko te hoki mai I te tūroto ki tō tātou painua nei, pene tare I raroroa e ke roko mai te tai maanga ki mea pūpinga nā tātou.
And we were very close in August, Madam Speaker, until the new outbreak in Auckland, which put a hold on any further plans for opening up of our borders.
E ko wātata tika e tātou I te tūranga I te marama auku te inara, no te kakea kua mea te tare maki ki Nutirini kareti I tuku.
But however, New Zealand is managing its outbreak very well, and it seems that its reduction in its restrictions will now will look very favorably for us to start again proposals to commence travel between our two countries.
E tēnei te metaki nei, tā Nutirini raweraweanga I te tūranga maki tō rātou pasire, e te akaranga, pēnei ka roko te akamata ko o I te tūroto ki tō tātou painua e tauturu e tātou.
But one thing I do know, Madam Speaker, is that it won't take much for our country to have some economic recovery.
Po papu aku e mai ne watu tua I te taipinga e ko te oki kare anono ia ke maata te rawenga e oki ho me te turanga o to tato pasire kirum.
Our country had a booming economy during the times when we were up to 170,000 visitor arrivals a year.
O to tato turanga popinga te pasire teitei rawa te rera I te tuatau e rauko mera e tai anere I tunga oru tausi ni tangata turoto e tere mai nei te mataisi.
Even a fraction of those numbers, Madam Speaker, will throw a lifeline to our businesses, to our households, to those small market vendors once we start our flights between our two countries on a regular basis again.
Me rauko mai te tai tuanga mingiti wake o te tare anga tangata. Ka rauko I te rera I te orongatu te tai tauturu, te pōpinga ki roto I te onga I kimi anga pōpinga, ki roto te ngutuare e te oronga okoko tā tātou ki tenei te tuato.
One thing that this COVID has done for our country, Madam Speaker, is that we have greatly improved the requirements of our hospital to meet the threat of this COVID-19.
O te tai e pinga metaki te rauko mai no tātou te tuato nei koe oki. Kua rauko e tātou te aka metaki mai I te tūranga o tō tātou anamaki I te kimi rawanga te rapakau e ake e tū mai te maki ki a tātou.
The arrival of our CT scanner, plus the construction of our additional laboratory, which will enable faster diagnostics, is all a step in the right direction.
Nā rato I te horonga I te tai o machini hio, pera koto te ngai kimi anga laboratory te tātou aramaki ki a viviki te kimi anga o te maki I kone e tātou.
Good supplies of PPE gear that have been provided and donated by sponsors to our country greatly boosts our ability to be able to meet and confront this COVID-19 if it ever gets to our country.
E pera koto te tauturu a te tai o tēke turuturu, nā rato I te oronga meanga I te o kakao paruru, e te opinga paruru I a tātou, I tauturu I a tātou I te paruru atu nō rato I te maki.
And the Prime Minister was able to divulge to us that his phone call with the Australian Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, gave the assurance that Australia's vaccine program, the Cook Islands, is sitting right up at the top of the priority list to be able to receive the vaccine once approved.
E nā rato I te taniunuanga o tō tātou Prime Minister, ki te Prime Minister o Nutreni, o roko mai te kapapu no runga I te tūranga vairako no te maki me tuake a Australia I te verako, te runga roa te kukane te tareanga kapapanga no te verako.
So there are challenging times ahead for us, Madam Speaker.
Re mai ni watu to e tuato ngata te ai tūmani.
And no matter how good the government policies are, there will always be some businesses that don't quite fit and will come into trouble, but there is no avenue for them under the current support program.
Matu e te matutu I te akanono ngata kawamani, te waine rai te tai ngā tuanga kimi pōpinga e pene ka rato e oro o metaki ki roto I te o kapapanga no te tai tauturu no rato.
And this is where your government, Madam Speaker, is a good government because it will adapt and be flexible to meet the needs of those that maybe we didn't recognize, but now it's emerging.
E ko te ngai metaki te o te kawamani mai na watutua, rau koe iaia I te akataui, I te akatano, e ke rauka te tai tauturu I orangatu ki te ao taek.
Because at these times, especially now, heading into the end of this calendar year, is an important time for us.
No te me te tuatou tikai, ta tātou I matou, te taiatu nei tātou ki te openga, tuatou openga mataiti e tuatou pūpinga te ki a tātou.
So we must make sure that we recognize the needs of individuals, businesses, small businesses, as they emerge and be able to respond to them, to support them.
O rea ka anono pakari a tātou ki a akara matatio I te anono te inangaro o te au tuanga kimi pōpinga, tuanga mamata, me rikiriki perakoto, te aronga tāta ki te.
But at the same time, we must encourage and allow those who are looking for solutions, those who are willing to invest and do different things, we must encourage them because it is their enthusiasm, their energy that will see us through and that will help our economy recover.
Me tau katoa ki akarakara tātou I te tai o tuanga, te tai o tēke, te anono nei, ka roke rato te kimi mai I te tai o raunga ke. E para katoa tuku I te rato ka pupinga ki rato I te tai o raunga ke, no te mea. O te rato marurei, ta rato e umomune, ka inaore e tātou ki ututu, e I tauturu e tātou.
Therefore, Madam Speaker, I commend this bill that has been put forward to us by the Superannuation Board to ensure that whilst we provide relief to individuals and companies, we also make sure that we do support and protect the superannuation fund.
Nge mai ne watutua rekarekau I te orongatu, I te ture tamanako, te tuku I mai, I te kopapa akatere I te muni supa. No te mea, anono I tātou I te akono I te utuanga, te company, te oranga I prakatoa. I akara tātou ki akono I te tūranga o te puti e muni akaputu.
Because it is this superannuation fund that will help those of us when we retire and have no income. This fund will be part of our livelihood.
No te mea ko te puti e muni akaputu supa. Kariro te rera I tauturu I a tātou, mea ka ngaro I a tātou karea tātou ngai angang e tiaki I a tātou I te tātou ki mō.
It is money that's been contributed to by the workers and by their employers to ensure a retirement fund for when you retire.
E muni kiriti e te tai nā te ronga anganga e te utuanga business anganga ki taruku te pute I akapapu e tuanga muni tiaki te tai nā tātou.
And with those words, Madam Speaker, I commend the bill to this House.
E nā rato I te atutua mani watutua te tuku neo I te ture tamanako ki mua I te ngutuare.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. I call a seconder for the motion of the second reading.
Me tai ka hakimea tō te tai turu, mo te ia.
I to second the motion.
Seconded by the Honourable Tinka Elikana.
Turu ia e te mema Tinka Erikana.
And the floor is open for debate if anybody has.
Te tuera nei te taua no te tai watu watutu.
I see the Honourable Waitoti Tupa.
E ki te awhine au I te mea mga te te Waitoti Tupa.
Me te ki māta e mai nei wātutua.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mai nei wātutua, me ka tika I tō ngā te te I tuanga potoa noku ki tōku tuanga ikia.
Madam Speaker, can I be given the opportunity to speak to my constituency?
Oronga nei te reo aroa ki te tōku tuanga ikia ngai matawera I roto I te tātou nei. Pera ki te o aronga e taonga tō rātou no nei ki roto I a koe rangi atea. E te o akononga tūkeke.
I give my greetings to my people of Matavera, to the leaders, traditional leaders, and also our churches in Matavera. I extend a very warm welcome to you.
Te tiroa, te tiupoto, te oire. Kia ora ana koto, kato toi te aroa mātou te tua.
The breadth and length of the village, greetings to you.
Pera katoe mai ne wātutua. E te mea, ro te tōku tapa oire te tātou ne, tai ia me tō tāne ka paine ki nutire nā te wareire tū mai ne, o te roko e te komopai tā piki maki.
And in Matavera, I have an elderly man who will be sent to New Zealand under medical term.
Te mea, te mai te mapu o te karakara o tōna tokorua, ko iau ki ko ritia, ko te maiti, ko trainee, ko irina kia oi angangane ki runga e te ramaki, ko ia katoa te tai ambulance driver, I runga e te ramaki karekara, te riwhe I nei ki nutriren, o ti roko I te komopa e te apikupika maki.
The mention of the name trainee, he's been a good worker, strong worker at the hospital as a driver for our ambulance, and he will be referred to New Zealand for medical support.
Tā awa ki wa tauturu mai tētui a koe oronga tōnga I te reo kamarure, e pera katoa, irina ki o nā tētui a ka meita ki tō o maki, I roto I tētu ato.
May God guide you, and I also believe that God has the power to heal you as you go to New Zealand.
Te rua, e tamaiti te ea, nā te te mito tāne te ruwhea katoa I aia ki nutriren, e aia pe tamai tētu ato leo.
And secondly, there's another man who has been referred to New Zealand the last 4 weeks.
Ko tia mito tāne te nutriren e, te roto I te ramaki tētu ato, ko e ko Papa Tukarangi Hosking.
And the name of the person is Papa Tukurangi Hosking. He's now in New Zealand.
No te mea te nuti te tāmai ki a koe roto I tētu ato, kāri mita ki roana te kumopo I tētu ato ne.
Because what has been relayed to me that his body is not perfect.
Oriraga era tutana to moichi ko yogi ati ora ire tu mane nen no te atoro tu ite mi to tane e te check tu e ya wa te unuchi orunga ite mi to tane.
So his son Nan will be following him, who will go and give support to his father.
Ao ke to turu ka to mai te tu ia e no mai nei nujiren iro to e te are maki no te mea irina ke oe kare mara marwana mo kore kare kite me te kiana i te tangata
So I hope and pray that God will keep him safe, because as I understand, he's not conscious of those people who are visiting him. So to you, Nan, as you head over to the country of New Zealand, may God lead you, and also our son training.
Prakato mai ne watu tu no timea I to tatu I are to naruto I te committee I te pai no tokero e te pai no tong ari oronga nei to kore oro ge rato I te tatu ne.
So I have been visiting some of the islands in the southern group and also in the northern group, and I have met a lot of people, and I haven't given my greetings to them.
Nori ke ako e te nua manigi rakanga e prakato ke te nua tongarewa e te nua te ulu o te watu, te oronga tu neo to koreo, aka mete ki koto ti tiek, e te utu ti e mātou, I to mātou tere, ti tere tō ki tō koto inua, I te tuatau nei.
So to these islands in the northern group, to Manihiki, Rakanga, Tongarewa and Pukapuka, I give my thank you for looking after us during our stay on these individual islands.
Pera kato te mea kato to e te o kontara, no te mea koriro kato rato I te utu tu mai, I tō mātou tere, I te tere tōnga ki runga I te inua, I te pai no tokerau.
And also to all the mayors and all the leaders for your support and your care for us as we were living on those islands.
Kare ngarapo ni ako e mai ne watu tua, te pai ni tini o rakanga, e pera kato te pai ni tini o tongarau. Ko rato ti orongo mai I te tei raki no mātou. Naruto I te pare, I tō mātou tere, te o kumiti te aretu ki runga I te au inu.
Not forgetting all the women on the island of Rakanga and Tongarewa for the gifts that you have bestowed for us during our stay.
Korong mai rato I te pare, pera kato ki te ulu o te watu, korong mai rato I te purum, e kakite mai rato ki e mato, e akoto e tāanga I te purum pēo, tāanga akoto I te pēo, no puka mai.
And also the hats that was given to us. Thank you to all the women from these islands, and not forgetting the island of Pukapuka, who have given us some brooms and asking us to use them at home.
Gume tato e mai ne watu tua ki te pai no tonga, koriro katoa rato I te ututu mai, te rātika e ngā putaru. E nua manu, nukuroa, e pera katoa ki a koe katoko manao, te e toko to memu paramani, si rote to tato are paramani a karongoronga tu nei, orunga I te reo kameta ki a koto ti ututu mai e mato.
And not forgetting the islands in the southern group, especially the Ngāputoru Islands. Thank you to you leaders who have cared for us, and I see that your members of parliament are here listening to this thank you that I'm giving you.
Pera katoa ki a koe a raura inua, koriro katoa koe te ututu mai e mato, to mato tere, ti tere tiro ti tiri raka tere.
And also the island of Araura Enua for looking after us.
Reo taka ke a kamita ki a ngana, ki oio ki to tato minita, ropachi no te mea, to mato tere, are mato ki tongarawa, koriro a ia, I te cheki e mato tōna ngutuare, korongo mai te riri ki e mato te kumiti, I te noo kiro te riri ngutuare. Te a kamita ki a koe.
And a special thank you going to the Honourable Minister, Robert Tapaito, for allowing us, for opening your home for us to stay on the island of Tongarewa.
Tāpanga tātou I riri ki au au inua, te o mea paramani rotu pui tō tātou, are te tātou nei, ki a kamita ki a koto, te mea, e te kontara inua, I rotu I te tātou koto, ti ututu mai e matou, ki runga I tō tātou inua, au.
And finally, to the island of Enua, with your members of parliament and your mayor and the island council, we say thank you for looking after us.
Paine watu tua, mua kau ki mo ki runga I tātou ture tāmana ko I te tātou nei, akara neo te tei tua, te akara neo te rātika, te mem paramani o tupo marerem, te akara neo tōna rākei, tō mo ki te tātou karakara I ar te rākei noa.
And before I continue, I would like to look on the other side of the house. I see the Honourable Minister George Angene. He's in colour today.
Ari ki o kite, me ko kite tātou te mem paramani, a di ngō Māori o te kara, pink.
I don't know whether we know what's the Maori name for this color, pink.
Tena ko kiti mai ti tua tone. Kara akan leo pine ka korong apa ati tai lori re taru mai ti ka ko uru ti tua to.
And because of that, maybe he's wearing for a reason, special reason.
O ti me akar ne tato kare ro aton prime minister o to tato te ka tu mai uru ti tua to ne.
Because we know very soon we will have a new leader, new prime minister in this house.
Ugi mai re to mana kore mai na ba tu to kiru mai ta tu tu re ta mana.
I shall come back, return to this bill before this house.
Mai na ba tu tu ta tu yuri kiro to ite committee makore ite ari tia ai nei irina kyo e goro ko to tatu maram orunga ite ture tamana.
Madam Speaker, I believe that what we have discussed in camera in this house, it has given light to us.
No te me mai na ba tu tu ko to tau ana ti ko maram mawe ya diga ti e pena mai guru tu pui tatu orunga ite ture ko yo ko de superannuation ture tamana ko numero 2.
And I know that this bill is brought before the House. I understand it, and it's coming back for the second time.
Marira, ite toturu to tato itangat koi ne rato ite to omuni oronga ne ko omuni ro ti tato.
But mainly for the purpose of supporting our people during this time.
No te mete karangara te minito te muni ti tato ko te maria ke te ko omuni ai na rao te tuku ko te mana ko kirunga te rira maria ke te ko omuni ite toturu tu a te tuanga tantano e roka te tikanga no ti a koronga.
I know the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance is saying because of government, the support has been given to our people. But let me remind this House, it's not just the government, but it is also the opposition who has given support to them. And during the time of questioning him, I posed this one of the questions to the Minister of Finance. Because I know the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, knows the situation of our finance, but not only him, even our leader for the opposition, she can read of what is happening with our finance. And that is the reason why I have asked the question in regards to the growers. Not only for the growers of Rarotonga, but those from the southern group. I have seen some of these growers from the outer islands who have sent their produce here to be sold. I have met with some of these small businesses, and they have reported to me that sometimes they are good, but sometimes they are not. But during our visit to the outer islands and through the explanation given by the Deputy Minister for Agriculture,
there's quality inside.
Because what is happening now, these business people are looking at produce that has been grown in the outer islands that are of good quality. So they are looking into this matter, those produce especially that will last long, that they will be able to be sold in the shops. We've been looking at our growers, but not just for them, even our fishermen.
kakaranga we te oronga ine te o kaitantono ki te waronga kare tutak iro te tuato perakato no runga te ika ko ki te tuato ne ko topa takiri mai te oko ngai te ika te per kilo me te rima ono itu warutara.
I think this is a good thing when we look at things happening, that there are a lot of produce that is given freely to our people, but at the same time, I noticed that the costs of fish have come down to about $5-6 a kilo.
Karakara te tuo te ngere nei te ronga narato e rawi nei te anga ngai te tanu o te mea karioke mitake arumene naro te tuo ngo te moni i te tauturi rato no te tanu ako me kore no te tautai ako.
Yes, it is true that there is support given to our people by giving free produce, but on the other side, it is those who are actually planting that are suffering, that they are not getting some form of benefit for their labor.
Urira mai na wadu tua e turu e te ture tamanako perakato i te manako e akarakara matatio no tia waronga e kakapeta tu te tauturu ngai rato me tagi ki te tuato i ke tauturi e rato.
So I stand to give my support to this bill before the House. Not only this, but let us also look carefully for those who doesn't fall under the criteria for this support.
Perakato i te pai no tonga i te pai no i wao mai tato i rotonga nei ki akaramata tio koto ia o runga i te tauturi e rato.
Not only for the island of Rarotonga, we will look outside to give support to the outer islands.
Mai no mato tu i mato i rangi atea mata to mato oronga tontonu rira karakara te kite ne mato te tai no te mea i te mana kai to pake nei ko tamatana i te oko i te o kai atoku a te tauke te keo kare rāti rira i manu i roan.
For us in the constituency of Matavera, I know our growers, our men are working hard to plant food, but we have problems because last Saturday I tried to sell my brother-in-law's food. I had some problems with it. Because what remained, I returned it home. Even another grower came and brought some of his produce to my home. Because when he saw the produce at home, he asked me, who gave this for you? And he knows, he identified the problem because there is no people to buy our produce, and hence the reason why he's bringing some more tomatoes to my home. So for me, let us look at this, and for those who are not catered by this bill, we need to look at this now and settle the matter instead of waiting for a later date. But I know it's the main intention for this House is for us to support our people so that they will be better off, especially in this time of the virus. So I stand to support this bill before the House, and I hope that all of us will support it.
Thank you, and I see the Minister George Angene, you have the floor.
Me te manda te ki te tune te Minister George Angene, tako te tau.
Me te mada e mai na te reu panga tato kato Tokyo ran turo. Te tanga te ron romani e pera kato to no te Australia no e tutu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings to all of us, to our people listening in, and as well as those from Australia and New Zealand.
Ma ke ka oronga to e to ko mona ko no ronga e ture tamano ko mai na te reu panga ke dai chikanga no ko kia. Oronga to e to ko re oro. Ki to ko to ang ikiang ki to ko i tanga to ba no yo au.
Before I present my thoughts on the bill, Madam Speaker, if I may take some time to greet my electorate of Tupapa.
E tui te taonga te akamarukura e te unga ma te pōtikiri te toko tuanga ikiang. Tupapa nui o au, tūrou, ki o rāna ki o koto katoto, e akarongorongo mai nei, i tātou paraman.
To all the leaders of many sectors in our village, until our small young people, I greet you in the name of our Saviour.
Ako aronga anga mai nei. Pero te tako department i toko portfolio, tūrou, ki o rāna ki o koto katoto, e akarongorongo mai nei, i te paraman.
To all the workers in my portfolio departments, I greet you at this time.
Aroa takake nāko ki tako tamai ne. Te pū o tako aronga e teki nei tako aronga e rawe ni tanga. Kia rāna ki a koe pepe. E ina ki o e rāti o tō te pē, i a koe runga i tō toro.
A special acknowledgement thanks to my own daughter, who's in charge of my own workers. I greet you.
Mai naka te reu wanga tātou pōro o tia te mai nako e. Mi te tāne rea tō nako tūtua.
Madam Speaker, all of us, this daughter of mine is like a strong man.
Riro me e te aka tiri tiri. I tako ano ngang. E rawa me rei tanga i te ora tāta ki tai. Nā rā o tāpat ako ngaro e rato.
She's the leader and manages my workers every day, and on Sundays they rest.
E rongo me rao i taka tiri tiri anga tūtua a te mem parmani ngati te o matawera noronga i te kako o tako e aone.
I hear the comments by the Member of Parliament from Matavera for the clothes that I wear.
Me te ke e te mem parmani koko i tūtua mai te a kako i nara i naro taka i te tūtua e te kara, e te aitean o te e tako i o mai te tiangu tuar.
Thank you for making comments on what I'm wearing, and I would just like to clarify the reasoning and the colors of what I'm wearing.
Te rongo o di te mai te tiangu tuar e kare ko te me mua tōku i a o e te kako. Those
of you who are new to this house, it's not the first time. I first wore this back in 2010 when I entered the house. Some people say these are the color for women.
Peace.
I wear this color because the intention is to create peace.
Happy day to get the Turong or the Taotayang or the Kukan Bazi to Koputanto de Aro, or told me to get the Karagerato, Koputanto de Au, Korpini, the Inner or the Aro Mutukori or Teatro.
This is in line and appropriate with the motto of the Cook Island Party, a party of peace and love.
Manakotaka ke toko inaro de takakite toko i tanta e teo mapu e arene na de di oil.
I have my thoughts for my people as well as the young people traveling through my village.
No me nga market ta ko ya tu i de toko oil te karilo ene nga kai ka.
Because I have established two markets in my village, and people are turning to these into places of drinking alcohol.
Ina kira o e kare ko toko anu mapu. O te o mapu no oge e tupo no yo au.
I do believe this has been done by the young people from outside of the village of Tupapa.
Te patineo ke tika. Aro ka rawe ko i dia nga. Pai tu ta ka wa kiro to rai to nga. Iki nga mo ko kiro to oire ino to ta ka wa kiri. Ya ka pa mo kiro to oire. A ture ji ko ta kara nga sorry.
I'm asking that you refrain from doing this, and if you need to, take it back into your own village and take your drinking there, so you won't have to say, I'm sorry.
Ya kamete ki neo i te komani o tira te o nga mete ki tane I rawe ki nunga toko tapere, nunga toko oire, tupapa nui o au.
I give thanks and acknowledge the government of today for all the good work they have done in my village of Tupapa.
Irina ki o e takataka o e mai naka tere upanga me ermai tato na roto I tupapa. Arawa I te tai o ti te mani. Arawa kei taka tere anga te komani, e tako pati anga ki te komani ki a rawe ia ki a katupu e te hoti te ria, arawa kei taka tere anga te minita. Robert te paitau.
And I'm sure it is quite clear when we travel through Tupapa, you will see drainage has been done there, supported by government under the leadership of the Minister, Robert Tapaito.
Me te ke māra ke te minito te muni. No ti orongo mai te kanga perato. To tato Prime Minister ngate te Henry Puna. No ngai te patianga o te arawai no te mea. E ono oro ko matai ti te ra. E ono oro le matai ti te ngai te no wanga. Hai roi arpaki ya.
My thanks to the Minister of Finance for providing the funds and support from the government for this, because I am 60 years of age now and this drainage has never been touched.
E runga roato te matara, ta koto ta te kaumani o mai naro te patianga. Ta kui orong atu, no te iti tangata. Me te ke mata, o rawe e tere. E taitoi.
And on top of that, thank you very much for the good road the government has provided for my people of Tupapa. And there is one more.
E taitoi runga e te matara, koi o ki rawe e te tuto te hot mix. E thank you mata e te nito te ICI. Kar koi ka te kamera te patia tu neu, te karanga ki te turato o ka tu e tunga ngome.
And this is asphalt to be applied onto the current road. And I thank you in advance to the Minister of ICI, even though we haven't approved yet.
O ke me ne toko manoko ki runga e te turata manoko.
I return to the bill before the House.
Me te ke mata e te minito te muni. O koe e pai mai te rito kone i te angotuare. Tauturu i to tato i te tangata. Tuke te pai ngā te ia ki runga i te tangata i te ara. Ina ki rao e te roka nei a koe te tauturu mai i to tato i te tangata.
My thanks to the Minister of Finance for introducing this bill before the House, for our people are facing many challenges out there and this will serve to help them.
Taku o manga i ere ni au e ki te juneo, e oro mai ne koe te muni i to tato i te tangata. Te ki nei te o are kawa i te o mapu, e te tangata e are nei te kaimomo i te muni, te orong o ia mai e te kaumani.
My only concern here is you are providing the funds to help our people, and yet all the drinking places are full of young people drinking and maybe wasting money.
Tarara, o te tika ngai kone, tia koe rea koe te tika i ta amun, ta te kaumani orong atu.
But the truth here is you are responsible for your own funds that government has given you.
E tāporoporo rā tātou tia tuatou no te mea, e tuatou kino te, tā tātou e tomo nei ki roto.
But we should be mindful and preserve our resources, funds, because these are challenging times we are going through.
Waka kite te tutua te tua kia matakite i toko tō airang, auroka mei tō te kito kore, mei tō te rongo pakarira, ma te tāporoporo maari e te tuatou, no te mea, e tuatou kino te.
And the words of God says that teaches us that we should be like the wise people that travel instead of being like the fools, and to take care during these times.
Waka kite katoa mai tutua te tua, e kite o tako o tamarike te aere na nā te aro te tutua mō kare e tōku, e raka anga mātātu.
And our Bible teaches us too for parents that we have no other joy when we see our children travel along the right path of righteousness.
E rote i te tuatou e te mini tō te muni, te kite ni tātou te tuatou e tuatou sport te, haraka no te kukaren kei.
And we see, Mr. Finance, these are sports times with the upcoming Cook Island Games.
E nā te o patianga te o tuanga sport, e ara mai ne ke tātou.
And we have before us the request from the different sectors of the sports community.
E rā katoa, ara mai te memo titikawa ko orongo mai te patianga kia, e kāre tāko i o ke tu kia.
As well as the member from Titikavaka made a request, and my reply was no.
Nō re rei te memo titikawa, apopo o ke o mai koe, o te pa ari e te muni kuru te panka.
Maybe to the member of Titikavaka, maybe if you come back tomorrow, maybe the funds have reached the bank account.
Ia ka kite o kia koe titika, kare ako muni e mō na ki runga iak, e ko tāko muni, pou te tua, no te inangaro e te ano, no te tangata e te amene kone iak.
Just to confirm with you, I do not hold any cash, money on me. All my funds are being shared out to help my people.
E te mini tō te muni, kaumani o te rā, tātou te o minita, te o mea pārmani kato tō te ngutore, ke no tātou mati au, te koropini e tātou e te inangaro mutukore, o te aroa, o te atua. Koe mō, ai tātou e. Thank you, e mai nima atu.
And to the government, all members of the House, let us work together and together as one in peace and love. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker.
E te ke mata e te mainu wa atoto.
I actually rise as leader of the House to move a motion
Te tū mai nei au, arataki o te ngutu are i te akakeu i te tai akakeu am.
to that standing order 5.4 paragraph bracket 2, which relate to sitting days and hours sitting of this Parliament, be suspended.
E te tū atu nei au, ira roa ki i te ira warimang uruma a rua, no runga i te aka noanga o te noanga o te uipaanga no te ngutu are.
So to enable Parliament to continue.
I te oroanga i te tai akakeu ngai ki a ka neke i atu te ora uipaanga.
Continue sitting until the business in relation to the second reading of the Constitution Amendment, bracket number 29, Bill 2020, is completed.
O te ere te tāmana koanga e ki a ka tere i atu te ora uipaanga no te ngutu are, ki a tatau i a te rua o te taime o te tatau anga o te ture tāmana ko o te akatū ke anga i te ture metu.
That's the motion I would, that's why I rise. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Seconded by the Honourable George Angene.
Turu ia e te mema George Angene.
I put the question that the motion be agreed to.
Te tukune te iki angai ki a ariki ia te akakewang.
Those in favour say aye.
Te ariki e tuto ai.
Those opposed say no.
Te pato e tuto kare.
The ayes have it.
Ko tika.
Are there any further speakers?
Patuto kia tu ane te tai.
I beg your pardon, Honourable Tere Api. The Honourable Tina Brown actually had the floor before.
Koromake mai e te mema terapi. No te mea, ko te tikaanga tutua te mema Tina Brown I Moan.
I will give you the floor after that.
Ka oronga tu tau ki ako, muriaka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, te memo te arutanga reu. E rana ka o tātou I te ia ia.
Greetings to all of us again this evening.
Nō ro te maanga tuato me kātika ki a tuku atu tuku oro. Ki te inua tangata, tā pōhu.
I would like to take this time, if I may, to greet my island of Rakahanga.
Ki a koe te mea e te ruru kuntara.
To you, the mayor, and your council members,
Ki te ronga anga pōuro a te komani.
all the government workers,
Ki tō tātou oromitua.
to the pastor, Rometua,
Tō te CICC, peraka tō te raitu e te katurika.
of the Kogan Christian Church, the 7 days, as well as the Catholic Church.
Tā tātou anau tamari.
Our children, young people,
Teo mama pakari e teo papa pakari.
to the elderly men and women,
Tātou kātou toen o mena I raka ngana.
all our people living on Rakahanga.
Teo rāna tātou kātou toa, te ro mātou tō tātou atua.
Greetings to you all in the name of our Lord.
E na ki au, te ākarakara mai rako tō I tā tātou Facebook page o te rakaanga sports team.
I believe you are watching live stream Facebook for the Rakahanga sports team.
E te ki te mai rako tō I te donation e tukuna ia mai no ko mai tō tātou iti tangata I no tireni e Australia.
And you are able to witness the donations being presented by our people from New Zealand and Australia.
Nā ro au te aki te atu me te mea kari rungai, pari posi aki rungai te Facebook. Ua tukuna mai e rima tausine a tātou muni, nā tō tātou hostel rakaanga ina pō.
And if it's not posted on Facebook, I would just like to announce that 5,000 have been given to our hostel last night.
E tau turu I tō tātou uniform, I te tutaki tō tātou uniform, e tā tātou kai during the next 2 weeks.
To assist with our uniform and our catering food for the next 2 weeks.
Nō ro a te report e atu e makotike tō tātou team, te team o te rakaanga.
I'd just like to report that everything is fine, it's good with our team Rakahanga.
E tēnei o ki te o ngā e o te opening, o te o events ere, the codes ere.
I am visiting the different sectors are opening and the codes.
Te atu mātou i te tauturu i te opening a te tātou bowling team i te mānakai.
We arrive at the opening of our bowling team on Saturday.
Pū māri e tika tātou, no tātou te numero koe tika.
Our team was beautiful. We had very good numbers.
E pai rua tākota i te, tiki tena i mai e tātou i te ngā tuatau.
We have seen the spirit of togetherness during this time.
Penei no te COVID-19, no te iau, patianga ke tākota i tātou, ke tauturu mai, o te tirira pa a te pai rua, e neke nei tātou ki mua.
Maybe because of this COVID-19 times and the request for all of us to work together, we have seen this spirit of togetherness.
Nā rokoto au te tuku atu tō tātou, te akamete ke anga ki te president, tō tātou president, tōna tokorua, te aronga pōrua, te executive o te rakaanga, I rarotonga nei.
I would like to give my greetings and acknowledge our president and all the executive of Rakanga.
O te mea maria ki tō mātou ngutu are, I tupapa, I ngā putuputu anga no mātou I te au monte kātotoa, I tā mātou uipaanga me te ono wiki, me kore waru wiki I te tēmu.
It's fortunate we had our hostel in Marairanga as a place for us to gather and to meet and for about 6 to 8 weeks now.
O te mea kāre mātou uipaanga oana, me o te mātou te uipaanga keikei ana mātou, nā te ia mama I koe te hostel tunu mai nei tā mātou kai.
Because we don't only meet, but following that, we are fed by the mamas of the hostel.
No rea, mama ua I rere tō mātou, I te tangata I te putuputu mai te o munte kātou tō o pāpuia rātou kai mātou, me o te tā mātou uipaanga.
So it's very easy for our people to come together on Monday evenings for our meeting and our kaikai afterwards.
Perako tō te aronga sponsor nei tō tātou pupu, tō te rakaang. Thank you very much I tāko tō sponsorship.
Special thanks to those of you sponsoring Team Rakanga. Thank you very much for your sponsorship.
E teo family kātou tō I rarotonga nei e tau turu mai nei, e perako tō I Nutireni Australia, e tuku mai nei te donation. Thank you maata ke tātou kātou tō.
To all the families assisting, donating on Rarotonga as well as from New Zealand and Australia, a big thank you very much to all of you.
No runga I te ture tā manakoang,
Returning back to the bill,
kare manako pātoi.
there is no thoughts of objecting.
No te mea, ko te ture tā manako, ka riro te rira I tauturu, I te aronga pakia kino ia, e te COVID-19.
Because this bill in front of the House will serve to help those people who have been impacted greatly by COVID-19.
I te mea oke, I te akamata mai anga tātou, ka reo ki tātou I pāpū e atike te roa, o te virus, piro te pui e tātou.
Because at the start we weren't quite sure how long this virus will be around us.
Te akamata anga, the first 3 months,
We started with the first 3 months.
extended another 3 months.
E akatoro I atu na te turu marama ko,
E oti akatoro ko I atu, e turu ko amaram.
and then they extended another 3 months.
Me tāku I komo ino kone, ko tōku ngā e teitai au,
As I mentioned before, my only concern,
me nei ke akara mai te kaumai,
maybe if the government can consider
I te tūranga o te aronga e kāre rātou I qualify, me kore kāre tō rātou kino I kino roa, I te marama I March.
for those who maybe not qualify, but also maybe their situation is not as bad as in the month of March,
I nā rā, no te tū roa, I te COVID I roto pui e tātou,
But
tūtū rā te ere tūra rātou down the same path.
maybe because of the length of time of this COVID situation, maybe they are going along the same pathway.
No te mea ko te ture tāmanako, ka re te rera e tauturu I a rātou, unless e ka qualify rātou i te subsidy e te au tauturu i oronga i te komani i te marama i te ronga i te rā toru umata i o māti.
Because this subsidy will not assist them until they qualify to collect the subsidy as of the 31st of March.
Te reka rātua rau te akorongo e karanga mera te minite e o tiri rapa a te te ka akara i te policy a te Ministry of Finance.
I am confident when I hear the minister saying maybe this is one area that can be looked into, the policy of the Ministry of Finance.
Ki riro e kia popa, me kore kia popa tā tātou tauturu i te ia te rua o te pupu te ka otu ki roto i te manamanta.
So that our assistance is ready for those, the second group who may enter into this problem situation.
O te mea ko ki te au, i te ta e o ngā business, kare i te business tourism,
Because I know of two businesses who are not in the tourism sector,
te added to rato down that path.
and they are starting to go along this path.
Ko te ngai ka tuma te ngai, me te mea e tāpiri te opati. O te aronga anga ngai rira o ki te kiang, kare tākiri e tauturu. No te mea, kare uki rātou i qualify i te tuatou i oronga i ai te subsidy back in March.
The main concern problem here is when the office or the business closes, then all the workers go home without any employment and without qualifying for the subsidy under this arrangement.
Te marama tū rau, e te criteria i te teime, me ta au business e ko topa e 50%,
I am clear that right now the criteria for assistance is if your business have been downgraded by up to 50%,
pene ka roko ia koe rea te apply,
maybe then you can apply
no te tai tauturu.
for assistance.
Ko te o mea no rea kumako mātua ino koni, ko te o mea ki akara tātou, ki ai te tātou tauturu i tō tātou i te tangata.
This is my comments before to ensure that our treatment of our people is all the same, is fair.
Kia papa tātou i tā tātou tauturu, ia au ki e ke topa rātou ki rau, e o ti ka ere tu e tātou rira ka tauturu i a rātou, o tapa o ki rea ki rau.
To ensure that our system is ready before they fall into trouble and then try and rescue them.
So, ina ora nei au, ko upa ato mātou upa atu tua opema, ke oronga atu nei au i te turu, i te ture tāmanoko, no te mea, e ture tāmanoko te ia kariro, i te tauturu i te aronga, mi te māti mai rātou, i te kino angai tā rātou business, e te mea ki te tuatau.
Maybe I'm the last speaker from outside and giving our full support to this bill because this was served to help our people since if they have gone into trouble since month of March until today.
Te nōra nei reo ki akamata ki te tātou, me tā te minita tā George Angene e karangara, ke umene mere rea tātou, no atu uki e te mātango ti arunga tirunga te subsidy ki te koe, ti koe te tātai koe te waianas.
And as mentioned by Minister Angene, we should beware or be cautious of this situation because maybe, as he mentioned, subsidy funds have been given by the government and we notice there's a few of these people at Vaianas.
Pene ke maani e te eo security officers ere koe te waiana, me tomo mai te ronga e tirunga te subsidy, then cancel e ia tā rātou subsidy because a kāmuni tā rātou. Are tano i rire ke continue tā rātou subsidy.
Maybe an idea to establish securities at Vaianas or other nightclubs so that when these people receiving subsidy arrive there, maybe then the subsidy should be cancelled because then obviously they have too much money.
No te mea tā tātou tutua mātou i ruto i te mutu are te te me tā poroporo i tā tātou muni, no te mea kāre tātou i ki te e ataroa i te maki.
Because we speak a lot in this house today on the notion of protecting, saving and conserving our funds because we do not know what the future holds.
Me akarātou rau ki tātou i runga i te CNN e te BBC, akarātou i marike, pūma ana tō tātou ngā kau no te mea tīmua ki no tātou.
When we look on television, on CNN, on British Broadcasting Corporation, when we look at countries like the United States, we are way ahead of the situation there.
so geriro I tātou, I te tāporoporo I tā tātou muni, in case akaria mo I tātou June next year, te re te pōta, no te mea cases at the spike either in Australia or New Zealand.
And so it is only true right that we save our funds, because we don't know, maybe until June next year, we are still in this situation in case of further COVID spikes in New Zealand and Australia.
So te turu nei te tua akatanutanu, I te ture tāmono. Thank you.
Therefore, the opposition supports this bill.
Thank you very much. I see the Honourable Te Reapi Maki Kawana. You have the floor.
Te ki te atu nei au, te mea te te rapi maki kawana, no o te tau i tēnei.
Me te kia tu paka mai nera te rui pāng o te orango me te kankia ki au talaru te te mutua ngā te te.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak before this House.
Ro katoa ne iau te kamete ki te iau mai ne mungo ne rare ne tāna tūtua ngā rare, e tō tātua ngā tangata uri reo. No te riri nui, i kōtou tā kōtou rare ne kōtou hare ne, e mātou kuroto kua, te ara kōtou te maru i kōpapa.
And I would like to comment the girls that is running our sitting today. They have been persistent. They have been sitting in their seats from the beginning to the end, even the interpreters who are doing their part.
Kia rā antaka ke tātou te omo mga te o te omo tuari, tō tātou ora tak.
Greetings to the honourable members of this House on the government side, our leader.
O te mea hapōpō te tae rā pōpinga rongo atu te rutu te apasire, o tō tātou Prime Minister o te tātou.
Because there is something happening very special that has never happened in our country.
Rā koutou the opposition side, kia rā ni o koutou, tō koutou arataki, mea mga te tua ene Tina Brown, e tō o pupu, kia rā no koutou I te aroa paka te atu.
So greetings to the opposition side, to the leader of the opposition, our sister Tina Brown, and all your colleagues.
Māni wā auta, tō mai au, te turu pakari te ture tāmana ko te tuku i mai ko te mutuara ngāti te.
Madam Speaker, I rise to give my support to this bill before this House.
E pati katoa neo kia koe, mea kate ki tuku ana tōku aro amu maiti. Tō, isi tangat, e arutanga reo ne kau para I e tika.
And may I be permitted, through your authority, for me to address my electorate in Aitutaki.
Kia rāna taku I pukarea, arutanga reo ne kau para I rutu te aia.
Greetings to my heritage, Nikopara Reo and Arutanga.
E o tāwene o te atua, te akamaro kura e tae wāri ki te ururu kontara, I rutu I a koe takumata kēna, kia rāna koutou te aroa tupaka o te atua.
Our traditional leaders and also our councillors, greetings in the name of our Lord.
E o me tua tāne, te o māpū, e tae wāri tatato pepe o koe āno o maere te marama. Kia rāna taka ki e koutou, e rutu I te atua atau.
To all our fathers and our mothers, our youth and young mothers, and even our youngest infant that has been given birth recently.
Te atua I te marama, te pete āno mai te tae fruit I rutu tōku family tree. Thank God. O te pepe o te āno mai rutu tōku pūrākau.
And I'm very thankful because I have a newborn in my family and have been blessed by God.
Ia kala I mai te numero votes o te tupuna, a te o tātou te kai e tātou.
To increase my number of supporters in the future.
Oku mai ko tō tātou tumu tāpura I rutu I te ngutuari.
I return to the bill before this House.
O te mea ko tō mātou e noi, alaure e noi, tirere te raianga o te pupu tangata, kalanga e rātou e ko te o foreigners.
Because in my constituency of Harutanga Reo Nikopara, I see there's a lot of foreigners residing there.
Mea kāro I te au tae, e tangi tō rātou tūrang, I te tai aronga business, e tākinu e ne rātou, I rutu e tā rātou, hututuanga I te au tae, I rutu I te tātou mana tā.
I feel sorry for them, the way people have been treating them, especially in this time of the COVID problem.
Nā tika, ne pati ne o te o alonga business e re, e o foreigners tako tu e rare ne, mea kā tika. A katoa me te ki e tō rang o tō tātou, I tangata te no tātou.
So I would like to challenge these business people who have workers they have brought into the country to look after them.
O te mea, te aka me taki nei te kaumani, I tā koutou o kimi puapin, Ma te ina katoa te kaumani te katau ni koutou I te utai I runga I tō tātou inu, I roto nei tō tātou pātiri kuki aren.
Because our government is looking after you and your business, so with the expectation that you will do the same in looking after your workers.
Te pēr pā, tā tātou autara nei tātou I roto te mutuar, te katau nei is a triple blessing te I tō tātou pātiri kuki aren.
So when I look at this bill before this house, it is a triple blessing to us.
Me tā te waha autara rai I te ane no kone, te mga te koe la mai mea March, koe mai June, te te taka I tune tātou roto I December.
And has been spoken in the House by the Minister of Finance. The first step started in March, then was extended to July, to September, and now to the end of the year.
Ina ki tōku ngā koe, tai tātou roto I December, taka I ko tātou e turu o ko amaram. O te mea, tā tātou kaumani I te rā, is in control. O te mea, ko te atua te ara takine tā tātou kaumani, I roto te rā, ngā roto I te puri, a te utawino o te atua.
I believe that in December we will be stepping another 3 months ahead, and I believe that our country is controlled by God because the leaders do put their trust in God.
I roto te tātou e mātou e ramai, te o mana mai tātou e ramai, te e te uianga hui mai ki a koutou koe inua tangata.
In the past, the question has been asked of me from my people,
Me pō te toru marama, a ka pe e atu e tātou.
after these 3 months, what's going to happen to us?
E tāko a ki te ke rātou, e a koutou e mana mangata.
I told
Tātou
them,
kaumani, te ne te eki mō, o ki te rātou, no te mea, te aronga katoto a ka te tere na tātou o muni, e aronga ki te pakari, ki te atu e tātou, o re e kimi ki te atu.
I told them we are all right because our leaders who are leading us, they are full of wisdom and they can lead us.
E o tae katoa te tai ki me pōpenga, e roto e runga tō mātou e noa, e tau ki te tō tātou wa autara e noko ne ake, mei te mea e ko topa tā au business I te mata I tō pākane I te malam, in comparison I te malam, ko topa ki tā, ko qualify e no te tauturu, a te kaumani, te grant subsidy e autara ne tātou roto te pēr.
And I know it has been discussed before this house that for those who did not qualify before, but now their business have gone down, they will qualify for this support.
I roto te tātou, te mai taka mai taki a te tae ka business e, ko roko mai tāna mun. I subsidize tāna wages, pera katoa te grant, oronga e, ma tāna business I e tutaki.
And
Thank you for the kaumani.
And I know of a businessman, he came to me to say thank you and through me to the government for the support that you have given to him with his business.
E runga la wākea ina keo te pera katoa ne tātou, e te aronga ki mi pōpinga I tō tātou e no. I rarotonga ne e te upa e no, e me te keo ne tō tātou tūranga.
And I do believe it's not just the island of Waitutaki, our business people here in Rarotonga and also other islands, they are given this support.
Ia mātou I tutaki, no runga te ka tere tere ngā tō mātou uwira.
And for us on the island of Waitutaki, the way we run our electrical supply,
Ko te uturu te accommodation, 100% subsidized te kaumani tō rātou pēo.
for the business people in Waitutaki, their power bill has been 100% subsidized.
E o tana ne, o rutu I te e tuatau, ai reu ki te kātupu I rutu e o koto pētai o wātu ki December.
It has been in the past until now, but I'm not sure whether it will continue into December.
O mātou, te o private, te o mutuare, a mātou, first $100, nā te kaumani te rea subsidized yan. Ko te toanga, runga ka te, ane te tāra, nā au lai, pū mutuare, e tūtaki te rea, haka tauturuti.
And for each individual household in Waitutaki, the first $100 expense will be paid by government and the remaining will be by each private home.
Te aronga ki me pōpinga, te o business e tupuni te tuatau,
And for the business people today,
e nā te tai akatano mea, 70% nā te kaumani e subsidized yan. Ia ka me te kia te kaumani no te rea tūranga.
I believe that 70% of their power has been subsidized by government.
E te akatau tōnga re, a ka pēr mātou I roto I te o maram, e tai atu I tātou ki tisam. I roto te reira, I te tuanga o te mana uira o arauru. Nā rātou, ka te reanga, te tuanga o tō mātou uira I arauru e no.
And for the remaining of this year, it will be in the hands and the power of the board, how we can cater for the power of Waitaki.
E tā mātou puri te ki te board members o te mana huvire o lau, ki a katakata o mai rātou i tia tuato e tātou kaere ki mō.
And it is our prayer that the board of the power of Haitutaki will look after us for the next 3 months.
A tōku urina ki ea, ka eru wātu rai te metak, no tātou i arau re mō.
And hoping that this support will continue for the island of Haitutaki.
E tōku mana ko peanga mai no wā utara kano e o ki raro.
And finally, Madam Speaker, before I sit down,
Pea ka me te kineo te kaumani.
I thank the government
A tō kātou tō te ngutua o te apuru mai te budget o te tractor o te arini kau i te supplementary budget a tātou i raweana tātou.
and all members of this House for your support to the supplementary budget that was given, because through that it was the assistance given to me for my tractor.
I te tem, I salute you all. No tō kōtou tākenga metak, I look forward to more of your support. Ko tātou tuanga i kia. Aura kai arini kau, kātou tō e mātou arau rei.
So for me to you, I give my support and I salute you in this House, and I also pray that you will continue to support me in the future, not only for my constituency and all the constituencies of our country.
E nā ro ki autara mai, ki akarongo ki toko, ki autara ki toko i tanga, pera ka toko ngātai. Ko te hema tieni, are no te arini kau. A ka mitaki e te aronga tanu kātou o ala oro inu.
And I want to make it publicly in front of this House that this machine is not only for Arutangarere Uniko Para, but it's for the whole island of Waitutaki.
Now, a te tō tātou kātou te ako me te mai. Thank you no te orango mai te tika ngāti te kia autara aro te mutua ngāti te.
May God richly bless us all for giving me the opportunity to speak before the House. Thank you, Mata. E te me mangati te, te rapi kawana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Kia ora to all of us this afternoon again.
E te mata e te mai nama atutua, kia ora tātou kātotoa I te iaia.
Madam Speaker, I stand up to support this newly introduced COVID Cook Islands National Superannuation Bill.
E te mai nama atutua, te tuatu neo I te oronga I tāku turu, ki runga I te ture tāmanako ki moe te ngutuare I te ataim.
As mentioned by the Deputy Prime Minister, this is part of the economic package that the government is trying to introduce.
Me te akite e mai ki tātou e te minita o te moni o te tairawanga te I a tā te kaumani a konono I te tauturanga I tātou I roto I te tātou o te maki.
The simple reason behind this is to enable those that are paying superannuation
E ko te tumo ora no te tauturanga I te o tangata te I tutaki ana I te moni tusupa
to put more money in their pocket
kia akamata mai I te taimuni ki roto I tō rātou o pute
as a result of the reduction from 6% to 1%.
no te akaiti anga oki o te tutaki anga moni supa me te ono petene ki te taipatene.
So, an example for this, if someone is paying $197 a fortnight,
Me te tōna ai te anga, me te tutaki nei te tai tangata, me te tai anere I wanga uruma I tu tara I te fortnight,
he will now only have to pay $50 a fortnight on his superannuation.
o te rera o te akaiti anga, e rimanga urura I ana tara ka tutaki I roto I te fortnight.
This leaves about $140 in that person's pocket to buy bread, butter, and the basic necessities for their home.
E ko te re te ai te anga, ka toi atu I rera ki roto I te pute o tō tātou I te tangata me te tai anere anga urutara no te okoraoa e te tai au kaitukia.
Madam Speaker, earlier during our question time, the Honourable Member William Heather asked the exemptions of fees for our mamas at the Punaoni market.
I roto I te tuato o te ui tutua, ko te mamangate te ko William Heather, ko tuku mai ai I te tai tāmanako anga, e no runga I te tutaki anga o te au toa oko I ko I te punanui.
I'm happy to announce that as a result of the COVID impact on our people,
E te mataora ni au, I te akakite atu e, no te maki ki te itai mai, no te amatakuanga o te maki ki runga I tō tātou I te tangata.
the charges that has been imposed on all the vendors, on the mamas who are vendors at the Punaoni market,
O te tutaki anga muni te akau I ana te o mama e oko nei I ko I te punanganui.
do not pay fees from Monday to Friday.
Kare tutaki moni me te monte ki te wharai.
Only those vendors who operate on Saturdays
O te au ngā ira oko e ka tuera I te mana kai,
their fees has been drastically reduced,
kua akaiti mengi tika ia tā rātou tutaki a ngā muni,
where pensioners pay $10
ko te aronga e runga I te muni pensioni, ka tutaki rātou e tenga urutara,
and other normal vendors pay $15.
e ko te tai au toa ke atu e tenga urumari matara.
This is part of the government's support,
Ko te tai te o te tauturu a te kawamani,
which complements not only the superannuation bill that we're putting through today,
te ka riro katoa I tauturu mai a tātou I te tuanga o te tauturuanga o te superannuation,
apart from the wage subsidy that we have been promoting,
e pera katoa te tai subsidy, tā tātou e turu nei,
but as well as the reduction in payments of our energy costs,
e pera katoa te akaiti maanga I te akapoanga muni no tō tātou uira,
the government through Punanui has also addressed this through reduction and exemption of fees.
e kua rauka katoa I te tuanga o te punanga nui I te akaiti mai te rera norunga I te tutakianga.
Hence the reason I'm in full support of this bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
O te tumu ki e tūmai au I te turu atu I te ature tāmanako ki mua I te ongotuare.
Thank you. As there are no further speakers, I call the Minister responsible to conclude on the debate.
Me te mata I te mea ka re e watutua ketu, ka pati atu I te minita na te tuanga ki a Hakochi mai.
I have no further comments to make, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Ara ku tutua ketu e mani watutua, me te ki mata.
In that case, then, I put the question that the bill be now read the second time.
I reira, ka tuko tu te ikianga e ki tatau ia te ture tamanako no te rua te taim.
Those in favour say aye.
Te areke e tutua ai,
Those opposed say no.
te pato e tutua kare,
The ayes have it.
o tika.
Long title,
Upoko ro.
an act to mitigate the economic hardship resulting from measures taken to protect the Cook Islands from COVID-19, coronavirus disease 2019, by temporarily lowering the rates for contributions to the National Superannuation Fund for employers who received a business grant or wage subsidy under the COVID-19 Economic Response Plan after 31 March 2020 and their employees.
Upoko ro. E ture nui e akaiti I te manamanata o te pae kimi pōpinga. Nā roto I te au rauanga I te pāruru I te kuki areni me te maki COVID I te ngoru maiwa. Nā roto I te akaiti atu I te utuanga moni akaputu no te tuatau aka ngaro I anga mei te o aka aere anganga. Te tutaki I atu ki te moni tauturu no te kimi pōpinga. Me kāre moni tutaki I tā rātou au tangata anganga. I rarake I te COVID I te ngoru maiwa. Parani tauturu no te pae kimi puapinga I muri ake I te rā turunga urumatai o mati mataiti ruakare.
Thank you very much.
Me te ki mata.
I now resolve Parliament into the Committee of the Whole House to go through the bill.
Te tuku neo I te pāremani ki roto I te komiti o te katotoa ki a tere nā roto I te ture tamanako.
We will begin with Clause 1, Title.
Aka mata tātou ki te irawatai o te upoko.
Clause 2, Commencement.
Irawarua te akamatanga.
Clause 3, Interpretation.
Irawatoru no te urianga.
Clause 4, Act binds the Crown.
Irawa a e ture te tapeka I te korona.
I put the question that Clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stand part of the bill.
Te tuku nei te ikianga.
Sorry, 4. I beg your pardon. 1, 2, 3, 4 stand part of the bill.
Tukone te ikianga ko te o irawa tai, rua, toru, a. Kia waira e tuanga no te ture tamanako.
Those in favour say aye.
Te ariki e tutua ai,
Those opposed say no.
te pato e tutua kare,
The ayes have it.
ko tika.
I put the question that clause 5, application, clause 6, contributions to fund in respect of employers who received business grant or wage subsidy.
Tukone e te ikianga e ko te irawa rima no te tangangang e te irawa ono. Ko te tai tutake anga kia.
Clause 7, relationship of this act with National Superannuation Act.
Irawa itu ko te pirianga o te ture tamanako ki te ture nui no te ture
Superannuation Act.
no runga i te moni. Akaputu.
Clause 8, relationship of this act with Employment Relations Act 2012.
Irawa waru ko te pirianga o te ture nei ki te ture nui o te employment. Mata i rua kare ta i rua.
Clause 9, effect of rates on employment agreements.
Irawa iwa ko te arapaki ke runga i te moni tūtakea.
I put the question that clause 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stand part of the bill.
Tukone te ikianga ko te o irawa, lima, hono, itu, waru e te iwa. Ki waira e tuanga no te ture tamana.
Those in favour say aye.
E arike tutua ai,
Those opposed say
e
no.
pato e tutua kare.
The ayes have
Ko
it.
tika,
Long title.
upoko roa.
An act to mitigate the economic hardship resulting from measures taken to protect the Cook Islands from COVID-19 coronavirus disease 2019 by temporarily lowering the rate for contributions to the National Superannuation Fund for employers who received a business grant or wage subsidy under the COVID-19 Economic Response Plan after 31st of March 2020 and their employees.
Upoko roa. E ture nui e akaiti i te manamanata o te pai kimi pōpinga. Nā roto i te orawenga i te paruru i te kuki areni me te maki COVID-19 taingoru maiwa. Nā roto i te akaiti atu i te tuanga moni akaputu no te tuatau aka ngaro ianga me te o aka aere anganga. Te tutaki i atu ki te moni tauturu no te kimi pōpinga. Me kāre, moni tutaki i tā rato o tangata anganga. I raroake i te COVID-19 taingoru maiwa parani tauturu. No te pai kimi pōpinga i muri ake i te rā torongoru mātai no māti matai i rua kare.
Those in favour say aye.
Te arike tutua ai,
Those opposed say
te
no.
pato e tutua kare,
The ayes have it.
ko tika.
I put the question that the report be made to Parliament.
Te tukuneo te iki angai kia tukuna ia mai te ripoti ki te Parliament.
Those in favour say aye.
Te arike tutua ai,
Those opposed say
te
no.
pato e tutua kare,
The ayes have
ko
it.
tika.
Parliament is resumed.
Ia ka matako nei te Parliament.
I call the Minister responsible to report the bill to Parliament.
Patia tō te minita no te tuanga ki ripoti mai ki te Parliament.
Progress of the bill through committee with no amendments.
Me te ki mātai, te rekareka neo te ripoti mai e kua tere me te ki ua te ture tāmana ko nāra te committee ma te kore aka tukea.
I put the question that the report be adopted.
Te tuko neo te iki angai ki ariki ia te ia report.
Those in favour say aye.
Te ariki e tuto ai,
Those opposed say no.
te pato ia tuto kare,
The ayes have it.
o tika.
I call on the Minister to move for the third reading of the bill.
O te tō te minita kia keu mai no te toru o te tataonga o te turi tamano.
The third reading of the bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I now move that the COVID-19 Cook Islands National Superannuation Number 2 bill be read for the third time.
E te ka keu nea ue ko te ture tamanako no te COVID te ngoro maiwa. Moni a ka putu no te tuatao ngaroi anga o te Cook Island numero 2 ture nui rongoru kia tatau ia no te toru o te taime.
I call a seconder for the motion.
Ai turu.
Again, the motion, Madam Speaker.
Seconded by the Honourable Tinka Elikana.
Turu ia te mea matinga erikana.
I put the question that the motion be agreed to,
Ko nea te iki anga e kia ari kia tia ka keuanga.
I beg your pardon, I put the motion that the bill be now read the third time.
Ko nea o te iki anga e keuanga e kia tatau ia te turi tamanako no te toru o te taime.
Those in favour say aye.
Te ari kia tuto ai.
Those opposed say no.
Te patoi tuto kare.
The ayes have it.
Ko tika.
Long title.
Upokoroa.
An act to mitigate the economic hardship resulting from measures taken to protect the Cook Islands from COVID-19 coronavirus disease 2019 by temporarily lowering the rates for contributions to the National Superannuation Fund for employers who received a business grant or wage subsidy under the COVID-19 Economic Response Plan after 31 March 2020 and their employees.
Upokoroa. E ture nui e a kaiti te manamana tā o te paikimi pōpinga, nā roto i te orawenga i te pāruru i te Cook Island me te maki COVID i te ngoro maiwa. Nā roto i te kaiti atu i te otuanga moni akaputu no te tuatau aka ngaroi anga me te o kaere anga te tutaki i atu ki te moni tauturu no te kimi pōpinga. Me kāre moni tutaki i tā rato o tangata anga i raro ake i te COVID i te ngoro maiwa parani tauturu no te pai kimi pōpinga i muri ake i te rā turungoru mātai o Māti mataiti i ruangoru.
Thank you very much, honourable members. That completes the first, second and third reading of the bill.
Te te mata e te o mema kua tiria te tatauanga no te tai, rua, turu o te teime o te turi tamanako.
We will now go to orders of the day.
Neke nei tātou ki te kapapaanga no te rā.
And orders of the day is the second reading of the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020, number 29, Bill 2020.
E ko te kapapaanga o te rā, ko te rua o te tatauanga o te ture nui a tuke i te papature metua numero rongoru maiwa, mataiti i rua kare.
And I call on the Prime Minister to move for the second reading.
Ka pate toi te Prime Minister ki a ka keo mai no te rua o te tataua.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill be now read a second time.
Ana watutua te ka keo neo e ki tatau i atu te ture tamanako no te rua o te taime.
And do you wish to speak on the bill, Prime
Ano
Minister?
noa ni koe tutua no runga i tia.
Madam Speaker, the principles and merits of the bill has already been covered in our in-camera sessions, and really there's no need to go through it again. Thank you very much.
Mai ne watutua ko te o manakonakonga i te anononga o te tia turi tamanako ko te tere te uri iria i roto i te uipaanga takake e kare anono ia kia tutua ko no runga i tia.
I call a seconder for the motion.
Pa te tūtai turu.
Madam Speaker, I stand to second the motion.
Seconded by the Minister Waine Mokoroa.
Turu ia mai te minita Waine Mokoroa.
Do you wish to speak as a seconder?
Ko tutua koe i takata turu.
Talk on this subject matter, and I'm happy that I think all of the members are happy with the explanations and the speech that I've given before.
Me te tae ko ia ina ke ue te tutoi i roto te upanga takake, ina ke ue kua mataora ariki pōro te o mema te uri uri.
Are there any speakers or no speakers for this?
Kare watuto ke me kare takiti e watuto.
All right. If there are no further speakers, I'm hoping I'm going to get it right this time. We're going to do a division vote.
Me kare watuto ke atu ka tuku tātou te tai ikianga ma te tūkirong.
Reason being, according to our constitution,
O te tumu ke tau ki raroke i tā tātou papature me tua,
Article 41,
atikara anga uru mātai.
the first reading,
Te ta-
which we're going to do on this bill now, will require a two-third majority.
O te tatauanga mua tā tātou karawe ti te me anono ia te tai tare mata e rua tū.
And the third reading, which will be after 90 days, will also require a two-third majority.
E ko te toru o te tauanga me pō te tai hiwanga uru rā, anono kato ia te tai tare rua tū.
So in your standing orders 149,
O rei roto i tā koto ture a tere uipaanga numero tai anere anga uru maiwa.
when I put the question for the second reading, I will ask, you will stand. Those who want to support the bill will stand.
Me tuko atu te tai ikianga, koto te ka turu i te ture tamanako ki tūmai.
And the clerk will call your name and you sit. And we carry on until all the members standing have been written down, and then you sit.
E me kapiketu te kalaka i to o ingo, ka no ko i kiroto e nare o tātou e tai watu ki te opang.
And when I put the question for those opposed, you will do the same.
Me tuko atu te ikianga kia koto te patoi, a perera koto koto te rawea.
And then we get the results after that.
Arauka mai rea i te ikianga i muria.
So we will begin. I put the question that the bill be read the second time.
Tuko nei te ikianga e kia tatau i atu te ture tamanako no te rua o te taimu.
Those in favour, stand,
Hei
please.
ariki kia tūmai ki ronga,
Oh, I beg your pardon. Is everybody present?
ua pō mai tāte.
I beg your pardon. So can you please be seated? We will do the conch for 2 minutes to get the other people back in. Just take a seat,
Me ka tika,
please.
te mea kare tātou i pō mai, ka no tātou, ka patangi e te pū, e ka wāpū kia tomo mai te ao tāki kairi te tungutuari.
Yes.
And mana wātutua ko te mea mā te tangi matapu o te mangai ai ai tēnei.
There's an empty seat over there. We are required by the standing orders to do that, just in case somebody's specially come in for the vote.
Arawenga, wanono i tātou i raro i
Somebody-
te o ture akatere uipanga ki a rawe i te.
2 minutes.
He roa tātou minutes, check.
Would he come back at lunchtime? You still have to wait. long 2 minutes. Right. I put the question. Those in favour that the bill be read the second time, please stand.
E tuku nei te iki angai, ko tō te i turu i te akeo i kia tūmai kino.
Honourable Mark Brown, Honourable Rose T. Brown, Honourable Robert Tapaito, Honourable George Angene, Honourable Vaine Mokoroa, Honourable Tingika Elikana, Honourable Ta'i Tura, Honourable Patrick Arioka, Honourable Tereapi Maki Kavana, Honourable Tuakeu Tangatapoto, Honourable Tehani Brown, Honourable Tina Brown, Honourable Terepai Maote, Honourable Selina Napa, Honourable William Heather, Honourable Tamaiva Tuavera, Honourable Vaitoti Tupa, Honourable Wesley Kareroa, Honourable Nooroa Baker, Honourable Agnes Armstrong, Honourable Manuela Kitai.
Honourable members, we have our results from our division, as quite obviously seen by the rest of you. We have 22 ayes out of 24, with 2 absent out of the House today.
E te o mema, tō tātou tare no tā tātou ikianga, e rongoru marua te ai, te ariki, i norata mai te ta i rongoru maa e rua te kare i tāmai tira.
And 0 no.
E kare e patoi.
So quite obviously we have much more than the 2/3 that is required to amend the Constitution.
E kua taka ua e mātātu te anono ia i te rua toru, te inaro ia no te taui i te papature metua.
And the clerk will now read the long title of the bill.
Tēnei ka tatau te clerk e te upokoro.
Long title.
Upokoro.
An act to amend the Constitution.
E ture nui no te akatukeanga i te papa ture metua.
Honourable members, that completes our business on the Constitution Bill now, and it will now sit and wait for the 90 days before we can come back and deal with it. And thank you very much. that completes our business for today.
E te o mema, kua taere ki te openga o te onganga o te ture tamanako, o te tukeanga i te papature metua, e ka no o te ia, no te tai i wanga urura. I ke mai e tātou e rawe atua i te katoanga, ko taere tātou ki te openga o te onganga.
It's been many, many years since the Constitution has been amended. So this day will go down in the history of the members of Parliament who sit in this house today.
Kua roa ka nei ngā mataiti i te akatuke i anga te papature metua o te pasre. Murea, i riro te rā e rā rongonui,
And
o
I'd
roto i te
also-
anga ture o te pasre.
I'd also like to thank our Solicitor General and our Deputy Solicitor General, and also to Nani for being with us throughout the day. And thank you for your assistance throughout the procedures of this part of our work.
Anono kota te ka mete ki atu i te ngā tangata mata e tōna tauturu nō rata mai te opati o te akinanga o te ture e pa katoa ta tātou tamaine ko nane. Ko e no mai no te roanga o tira i te tātou nganga no runga i te ture tamana.
And finally, I wish to thank every member of your committee, the Immigration Bill, and members of Parliament for this wonderful, overwhelming support in achieving what we set out to do with this Immigration Bill and with our amendment to the Constitution.
E ano no te ka metaki i a koe e te o mema o to o komiti te rawe pakari mātai tākoto o nganga no te pai meanga i te aka tukeanga i te kanoanga o te ture tamanako e perakoto i te aka tukeanga ki te papature metua o te basiri. Metaki mata.
And the rest of the journey of those will be after 90 days.
E ko te katoanga o te tereanga o teia I muri ake I te tai iwanga o rura.
May I ask somebody to finish our meeting in the prayer before we adjourn?
Eka, pate tō te taike, koutu mai a tātou nā roto I te pure, mua ka tātou ka ngaro itu.
O mātou me tua I te ao te akameita ki ne mātou I a koe. O koe te no mai kuru te pui tā mātou upaang. Me I te akamatanga e tā mai kuru te atiang. O tupu te au, o tupu te matāru, roto I tā mātou upaang o te mea. O koe te akatere ne te o mea rawara tā mātou. I akatina mo I roto I te upaanga pāramani I roto I te awatea. A toko I tō o tāwene ki o ki te motua. O te rāpōpō, a ko ke o koe koe mātou. Ke wairai tō o aro I mātou. Te tiroa te tūpoto tō mātou pāsere kuki aren. Au rakalawa te tai e mātou ki roko I te kino e te tūmateteang. I roto I te imo Iesu mātou I pure tue. Kia ora mātou I a koe. Amen.
Amen.
Parliament is adjourned till Wednesday, the 30th at 1 p.m.
Te akangaru nei te pāremani e tai o atu I te ruituru rā toru ngoru I te ora tai I te awatea.